All right, welcome to Showrunners Radio Reading for the Falcon.
The reading was really good, and the actors, the director, and you, Chase, I thought it was, and Jackson, the director, really came over well. And as a writer, I've really enjoyed the whole process because it's not just been me, there's been people giving ideas in which have fed into the script, and I find that very valuable. Plus the fact writing for radio, it's the first time I've ever written for radio, and it's been really steep learning curve, but I've enjoyed every minute of it. I think there's about 8 redrafts so far, and when I look at the first copy of it, it was just pretty mediocre really, but now I'm a lot happy with it.
The ideas that were added to it is supposed to be to make a short story into a series.
Yeah, because like it's got like the whole mythology now, because like it's what started off as just like something I was interested in, which was like about 1947 Los Angeles and a female detective. It's like turned into this whole world really, where she's got like a father, she's got a mother who was killed, and I feel as though I know her so much better. And also she's got a whole backstory and a whole set of skills, which when I first wrote the initial play, there was not happening at all. And now I've got a really solid background for my characters that hopefully everyone else will continue to feed into and give more ideas and get even better.
Otherwise, people think it's Harry Houdini you're talking about rather than your dad.
So,
and I was his #1 grade A student.
Right. So, from what Big Red, that bit?
Yeah, Tom.
Okay. What Big Red didn't know was that the Falcon was the best escape artist this side of Harry Houdini. And I was his #1 grade A student.
So you said that, and I was his #1.
And I was his #1.
Yeah.
What Big Red didn't know was that the Falcon was the best escape artist this side of Harry Houdini. And I was his #1 grade A student.
And his, and I was his #1 grade A.
And
I was his.
I was his. Okay.
So really hit that his, yeah.
What Big Red didn't know was that the Falcon was the best escape artist this side of Harry Houdini. And I was his #1 grade A student. Big Red thought she tied me up real tight. And even though I was a little rusty, I hadn't lost
The actors.
Well, for a first-time radio actor, I've enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed the experience. Bringing words to life was good.
Yes, I really enjoyed it. It was very good. I've always loved those old black and white movies of Philip Marlowe and detectives, and the fact that it's a woman detective. Fabulous. Fabulous.
You're biased.
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit.
And it's so nice to actually have more men than women anywhere.
No, well, no. Actually, no.
Though it is good to be in a woman's body, and I do like having long red hair.
Long red hair.
Don't be offended if your lines are changed. As far as like, you heard about, doing radio drama, we're at the microphone, and as I said to one of the writers over there, as I said, is the idea for us, for radio drama, is to be able to just read the script, give it some emphasis. It was important that, it sounds right. So, I mean, you could be on a spaceship, on a horse, or in a 1947 Los Angeles. So how did that feel for you?
Yeah, it's nice to do a part that you're not normally going to get cast in because it's just your voice. So that's fun. That's one of the fun things about doing this sort of thing. You get to play different characters you wouldn't normally play.
You can be anybody you want to.
That's right.
You can be at any age, any character, big, small, short, fat, thin.
Yeah.
Male or female.
Absolutely.
Well, sometimes that happens. So no, this is your second time around. How did it feel again to be a part of the process?
Oh, it's great. It's great being here. If I come back, it's got to be good, isn't it? I'll come back because it's.
Yeah, hopefully we'll give you an English character. A guy. I mean, last time who'd you play? You played a cop, American cop last time.
American, very voice, American cop.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Straight-laced, very straight-laced.
Yeah, and it's good to it's an opportunity to practice. It's actually a good opportunity to practice voices that I wouldn't get an opportunity to play normally. There's a great joy in just being able to come here and do it without any sort of loads of work beforehand, so it's free and easy like
Maybe.
I'd
that.
like to actually do more of a weekend thing where we could do more scripts, because we have our radio station is actually based out in Speak, so we're just trying to be in town for people and convenience, but that's where we actually are based, and we're really just trying to convince people to come out. So we want to thank you guys for coming, actually,
It's a good
because
thing. Radio's a lot bigger than most people think. And
it's coming back. It's coming back.
It's a great thing. I wanted to do this sort of thing years ago, so I jumped at this opportunity. Voices, you know what? They've got all these clever CGI things now, and they can make characters, but they can't copy the voice.
No,
and
you're right about that.
You know, voices are individual. You can tell them apart, and that's what we do, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's understanding text and interpreting it, and we make mistakes, but that adds to the fun, doesn't it?
Yeah. Look at him, comes out like he's like Dick Van Dyke.
Called many things, but never Dick Van Dyke.
All right. Well, Jackson, I mean, as our resident director and everything like that, all right, don't hide behind that pop shield. Yeah. Tell me, what did you think of the process and about, and explain your slap clapping?
I think there are a couple of things. I think the process of seeing what was a good script, I think, being turned into something which is quite special. I think Rita won't mind me saying that although we all enjoyed it, its first incarnation a couple of months ago, the changes it's gone through as Rita has heard it, spoken by actors and had advice from other writers, has absolutely transformed it into something that I know Rita wanted to recreate, the whole idea of the B-movies. So that's been brilliant. I think as well, one of the challenges we faced when we've had to look at this script in the past is how to get this difference between Gloria speaking to the audience, direct to the audience as a narrator, and going back into the action with the other characters. I think some of the things that Rita has done as a writer have really helped the actors along with that. And I must say, I think Annie absolutely nailed that tonight. And that, I think for the first time, actually, that will be very clear to the audience.
Yeah. Hopefully, finally, that we got our licenses and our radio and our shoutcast, and we're ready to go launching. So we're really looking forward to making these, radio plays. How do you think about the process of setting up like that we've done up until now?
I think it's been
Give us an idea about the different
I think it's been a
stuff.
very democratic process, which I think is fantastic, and links into the whole democracy of the internet anyway, and the whole digital era. I think as well, we're all learning. We're all learning how radio works, how radio can work in the 21st century. And again, I think radio brings its own challenges.
Yeah.
As I think someone said before, we're painting pictures with our voices, which is great because it's very liberating, but also places massive constraints on us. We have to make sure the audience have a fair chance of following this. And what Rita's come up with is a very convoluted plot with some very clever twists.
Yeah.
And we had to make sure, we had to stop and go back a few times to make sure that when we want the audience to know something, they will know it.
Yeah, it is hard, 'cause especially when we have those screenwriters in the crew, who always trying to slip film scripts in and call them radio. I do.
Imagine who you're talking about, Chase.
I know. I don't know who that guy is. But in that aspect, though, it is different. That's what I'm just trying to get from you, as somebody else who's been a part of this process from the beginning, of seeing what kind of stories that we've been bringing in. We had some murder plays, and we had a cook show. We had various different shows that we have been recording. So that's why I'm just saying, from your standpoint, is it something that looks like an interesting project going forward?
Absolutely. And I think we're learning. So I think at the start, all the scripts were very visual, and all the acting was. A lot of the acting again wasn't a huge amount of understanding of what the listener needs, as opposed to what a member of the physical visual audience needs. I think, and as a director, I've been having as well to come to terms with actually thinking about all we have here is the word, the spoken word, and I think today we've been far more precise as well. I've been more precise actually, in terms of stopping the actors for particular emphases, and that's something that I've had to learn to take on board as well. That where you could get away with a slight fluff on stage, you can't on radio.
Well, first of all, I want to just thank the actors for coming out tonight. I mean, this is kind of like a really good turnout for us as well, because what we're trying to do is something completely different. And what we're trying to do is actually, not just like get writers together and reading scripts around the table. We're trying to get actors together to come to come and actually perform, you know, to get a chance, as Noel said, to play all of these different roles in different parts. And, you know, to give them an outlet for that. Because what our radio station is a chance of not just being online in Liverpool, but it's being online internationally. So what we're trying to do is, there's so many different new things with radio going now, where there's a lot of, like, from Kensington to Tosses, there's a lot of radio programs all of a sudden coming out. We've been doing this for like 6 months trying to put this together, and it's a very expensive process. But with that being said, we need a good core group of actors, we need a good core group of writers, we need to be able to keep churning scripts out, and not just, you know, like a script. Oh yeah, I got this story, I got that story. That's what Rita was saying about Poor Little Rich Girl. It was a story that we felt when we sat around a circle that this could be a series. You know, even though it's an American series in England for the English actors, it still could be a series because, as Noel just said, it's about the voice. And I think Derek said that as well. And, you know, why should we let that limit us? Where, okay, if you're English actors, when are you going to get a chance to play, you know, Magnum PI or something like that? You know what I mean? But I mean, if I work on my vocal inflections and all of that, that's what we're looking at. And we're looking at, for radio, just having a bit of fun, you know? It's 2 hours, put together a show, and then build to the next one. So I want to thank everybody for coming out, you know, well done. But also what we're looking is to have a pool of people where, if we know, here's our pool, we'll send you the script. As we've done with you guys, we've sent you the script. Sorry, it may have taken 2 days early because we had to do the rewrites. You know, we'll send the scripts to the actors. They'll get a chance to read it before they show up. Then we're ready to go. It takes us about like 20 minutes to get all this equipment set up. And then we'll do a recording, and then we're good to go. But if we could get people willing to commit to like a day and a weekend, oh man, we could get so much more stuff done. So, thank you very much for listening.